Welcome to the Side Hustler Podcast, the podcast for women building their dreams while balancing work, family, and all the things. I'm your host, Carly LeBlanc, a wife, mom, marketer, and your side hustling friend here to teach you how to grow a brand that works for you and not the other way around. Whether you're a side hustling pro or just starting out, this is your safe place for real talk, actionable strategies, and the encouragement you need to keep going. We're here to help you make progress and not perfection. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's build your dream one step at a time. Hello, and welcome back to the Side Hustler Podcast, where we talk all things content creation and social media marketing. I am so excited to have you here. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Carly LeBlanc, and I'm so excited to have you here today because in today's episode, it is going to be a very special social media audit that we are doing with the incredibly talented Kiana. Kiana is a luxury hairstylist, a brow artist, and an aspiring beauty educator based in Connecticut. Not only is she killing it behind the chair, but she's also laying the foundation on how to build a multi-dollar luxury extension line, expanding her salon suite, and stepping into teaching classes on how to do henna brow. In this social media audit, we're going to be actually taking a deep dive into Kiana's business on how she's marketing herself on socials. We're going to be talking about what she's doing well on her Instagram and how her page is already set up for success. We're also going to talk about some key tweaks that I would recommend on how we can actually help her make her content convert into more bookings. We're also going to talk about tips for optimizing hashtags, bio keywords, and call to actions for her content, and how to start building real connection with her audience through personal and educational content. So if you're wondering whether Instagram is actually working for you or even how to turn your followers into paying clients, then this episode is going to be just for you and you don't want to miss it. So whether you're a hairstylist or a service provider or just a creative entrepreneur, you are going to walk away with a checklist of actionable steps after listening to this episode. So let's get into it. Okay, real quick. If you've been showing up on socials and still not getting the results you want, I want you to listen up because I'm offering free social media audits exclusively for my side hustler listeners. If you're not sure if your page is actually attracting the right clients or if your content feels all over the place, or you just want to make sure that you're on the right track when it comes to building your brand, I got you. These audits are where I go in and I look at your page and I give you the personalized feedback on what's working, what needs to shift, and how to start creating content that actually converts. I'll also drop a few tips and strategies that most people aren't sharing because I want to see you win. And the best part about it, it's free, my friend. So head over to cdcreativecoagency.com/audit and secure your audit today. Hello, Kiana, and welcome to the Side Hustler Podcast.
So happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you here. So today we're going to be taking a deep dive into your social media page. And so for the audience listening, can you give them a brief introduction on who you are and what you do? And also, what is the name of your page that we're going to be taking a look at today?
Okay. So, again, my name is Kiana. I'm a hairstylist and a brow artist. I specialize in luxury extensions, and I also specialize in like henna brows, brow waxing, lamination. And we're taking a look more so on my Instagram, kind of just seeing where I need to improve and making sure that what I want my business to be represented as is what is being displayed on my page. Because,
Yeah.
that's like the first impression of somebody finding you on social media to then go into your booking site, clicking on it, booking an appointment with you, to then, entering your salon. Just making sure that my social media is on the right track as far as pictures, words, captions, just everything overall.
Love it. And so before we get started, I like to ask our guests, what are your goals for the next 5 years? So what is it that you see yourself being known for?
My goals for the next 5 years would definitely be to have $1 million luxury extension line. We're claiming it.
Period.
I'm actually in the process though of testing vendors. I feel like never before because I'm doing so many extension services. My
Mhm.
clients, so I don't know why it's happening,
Mhm.
but I'm grateful for it. But they're always asking me in my DMs, text message, like, where do you recommend here from? And I'm always sourcing them to other places, other
Yeah.
businesses. And I've always had a passion for, selling my own hair. So
Mhm.
right now I'm in the process of just testing out vendors. This is actually one of them that I'm wearing. We're not going to use
Okay.
this one, but we're trial and error testing them out right now. So
Yeah.
I would say definitely having my luxury hairline off the web and also in the salon. More so, not so much behind the chair. Like I still want to do hair, but I do want to own my own salon suite business
Okay.
where I rent out rooms to other professionals, probably work it maybe 2, 3 days a week, but just having multiple source of incomes. I am also getting into henna brow ones, like teaching people how to do henna brows. That's
Mhm.
something that's also not quite popular, or not a lot of artists are doing it in my state.
Okay.
So it'll be nice just to be one of the few that's teaching it. So just really getting into education and
Yeah.
having multiple streams of income so I'm not like burning myself out.
Yeah, that sounds great. And so, what do you feel like is your biggest obstacle that's holding you back from reaching that goal?
That's a good question. I think I'm trying to find my footing right now with learning different ways and means of creating content. Because
Mhm.
people get bored. Their attention span is like 2 seconds, right?
Mhm.
And social media is changing every single day. So I'm really trying to learn and find my footing with content creating, incorporating some day in the lives, like just really trying to learn content creating overall because
Mhm.
I'm young, but I'm like, somebody teach me. So yeah, I feel like right now I'm working on finding my vendors. I already have my product as far as like the boxes and stuff. I have that vendor already. Curating right now my manual for my henna brow class. So I'm working on the back end of things, but more so I feel like showing up on social media even more than I am now.
Okay. No, that sounds good. And just to start getting into your audit, first of all, I think that you're doing a phenomenal job. When I literally clicked on your page, I'm like, wow, this is really good. So I'm just gonna dive in deep. And then for our listeners that are tuning in, how do you pronounce your social handle? Is it Calidora?
Yeah, Calidora. It means actually gift of beauty in French.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Kalidora X Beauty. That is
hmm
the name. Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
so
I'm not gonna lie, I'm low key thinking about changing it, but that's what it is for now.
okay, no, that's fine. So I like to start my audits off by really addressing like the strengths and the things that really stood out to me first before we talk about the areas of improvement. And so the first thing that I want to talk about is your name. I think that where you have CT, hairstylist and brow artist. First of all, that is a phenomenal job on using your keywords and you're really optimizing that space really well. I like to tell people that whenever you are looking at your name, you want to make sure that you're utilizing keywords that people are searching to find out whatever it is that you do. So I think that you do a phenomenal job by putting, Connecticut, and I'm guessing CT is short for Connecticut, right? Okay.
Yes.
But yes, so Connecticut hairstylist and brow artist, that's phenomenal. Going into your profile picture is another thing. It looks very professional, very clean. It isn't confusing on what you do. Obviously, you have a spray bottle in your hand, but you also show your hair being, welly groomed and all of the things. So I love that. I also love how in your bio, you have your services that you offer. So luxury quick weaves, silk presses, tape ins, henna brows, brow waxing, and lamination. And then you also have your location in there. Is it Meridian? Is that how you pronounce that?
Meredith.
Meriden. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, gosh, look, I'm like butchering all of this. So
Oh no.
Meriden, Connecticut, and then you also have multicultural stylist as well in your bio. I also love how you have your links in there because it's not hard for me to find where to, navigate to book you for your services. And then you also have really clear, amazing highlights that are branded. They're not, all over the place and they're not, cluttered with stuff that doesn't even matter. These are, highlights that people would typically look for whenever they are on your page. I also love that you utilize your pin post. to showcase like your services, and then you also have like a pin post of yourself, and then you also have one for your eyebrows as well. So you're showing not only, you know, your hairstylist, but you're also showing your brow services. So I think that you do those really, really well. And the last thing I want to hit on is the fact that you put that you struggle with consistency, but it looks like you've been pretty consistent to me. I mean, you post multiple times in a week, so I think it's consistent.
Yeah. We trying. We trying.
You're doing great. No. So that's
Thank you.
amazing. So let's get into some areas of improvement. So one thing that I really want you to add in your bio is a call to action. So typically we have to tell people online what next step we want them to take. And so one call to action that I would recommend you add is like click here to book, or book your appointment now, or something. I would include that as the last link or the last row of your bio. So that way it's immediately above your URL to your booking link. Another thing that I would say is for you to, and you can kind of play around with this, it's kind of optional, and just see if you see a pickup in more people, but I would probably spell out Connecticut in your name,
Okay.
just so that way people can, you're optimizing that, because CT could also mean like, I think it's another, I forgot what it was, but it's another abbreviation for something else. I was trying to remember what it was, but I would say if you could spell out Connecticut hairstylist and brow artist, and just kind of see if that makes a difference in your SEO, that would be something that I would try. Now, you necessarily don't have to, but I would kind of try to recommend just to play around with it, especially since you have the abbreviation in your bio already. So you're able to kind of capitalize on both. So you either have Connecticut in your name and then the abbreviation in your bio, or you can, you know, switch the two. But I would definitely have Connecticut spelled out one place and then abbreviated in another place, just so that way you're optimizing people that search both of those terms. But let's see. Another one that I would say is for you to add a highlight specifically for your brows. So I don't see you have a highlight for your brow services. I see the silk press, reviews, quick weaves, and client cam. So maybe if you could showcase some of your brows transformations in a story highlight and pin them in there. That way people won't have to like scroll for forever down your page to see, like, you know, some of your brow work. That's another thing that I would do. And then of course keep it consistent with the whatchamacallit, the brand covers. That's really good. I think we'll pause right there before I get into the content. So how do you feel about those changes so far?
Yeah, I like those changes. Those are pretty good tips. Definitely, I'm gonna update the highlights. For sure, and add in the Connecticut. Play around with that. So I'm not gonna lie. Like that's one of my pet peeves when I'm looking for other service providers and they don't put where they're from, and I'm like,
Yes, same,
wait, are you located where I think you're located? And then I go to
same,
their booking site and it's nowhere to be found, and I'm like, well, I guess
exactly.
I'm not booking you because what if you're not where? You know what I'm saying?
Or
So
you
I
having
make
to
that.
message them.
Yeah, and then sometimes I mean I'm pretty quick with responding and I try to respond to everyone, but some people unfortunately are so busy they don't get a chance
Mm-hmm.
to respond, and it's just like, so I
Exactly.
try to make it as easy as possible for
Yeah, and I think
clients.
you're doing great. I mean, you have it in both places. So that's why I was like, that's even for you to have it there. Like I have it, a lot of people that I do audits, like they typically don't have their location anywhere. And so the fact that you had already had it and you had it in two places, I'm like, chef's kiss, this is good.
Yeah.
So I want to get into your content. And so a couple of things that I wanted to bring up was that I didn't see any like personal content on your page. Like it's strictly just client content, transformations, and that's great. That's phenomenal. But I want you to remember that when people decide to buy from you, they like to be able to connect with you. So if they can see a little bit of your personality shown either through your work or through a day in the life, or you know, you just doing like voiceover content on your videos with you styling hair, you're talking about experiences, like that would be another way for you to kind of integrate your personality into your content. And then also, I would say even adding educational content. So, a lot of times when we're in our industry, we think that everybody knows what we know, and we think it comes so easy for us. So, we don't think about posting about it. But when it comes to like natural hair and hair care, and extensions, for example. Like a lot of people are not keen on how to take care of their extensions. They're not keen on like the things that they have to do in between styles. So that would be an opportunity for you to kind of fill that gap and create educational content to not only showcase you as a hairstylist, but also to showcase you as an expert, meaning that, this is how you should style your luxury, or this is how you should style your hair in between styles. This is how you should take care of your natural hair. This is how I care for my extensions and things of that sort.
I love those ideas.
Okay.
That's literally what I feel like I'm missing right now is presenting myself as being personable and relatable
Hmm.
and just showing up as the face behind the brand because like you said, and it's funny because I was telling my friend this the other day I just need to actually do it. I'm just trying to figure out like how to do it. I feel like I'm stuck on stupid when it comes to that, but I was telling her too, I'm like, when people buy from certain people like Beyonce for example, they're not buying the product, they're buying it because it's Beyonce. You
Hmm.
know, like anybody could, oh, I'm selling sneakers or I'm selling
Hmm.
activewear, but people are so fascinated with who Beyonce is. It's like, oh, if it's Beyonce, $200, oh yeah, I want that.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
But even when you mention like other well-known hairstylists, like most of the time the ones that you follow, you purchase anything that they put out, or you even travel for their conferences because you feel like you can connect to them and you are able to see their credibility through their content that they post. You've never met this person in real life, you know what I'm saying? And so if you're able to kind of like connect with your audience on a way to where they are like, oh yeah, like I know Kiana. I trust her. I love her work. Like I love her personality. Like you will be able to really be able to connect with people that, come across your page or even are looking to book your services.
yeah.
The next thing I want to kind of talk about is like in your content having like some call to action. So a lot like going back to what I was saying with the call to action in the bio, you want to make sure that whenever you do have your reels, whether that's an educational day in the life or anything like that, you always end your reels with a call to action because people aren't going to do whatever it is that you want them to do unless they're told to do it. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like if you want someone to like something, you kind of have to tell them to like it, or you have to tell them to share it, or tell them to, comment a word. So one way that you can use this is like comment beauty and I'll send you the link to book, or share this with someone who, needs this style or something like that. And so that will be able to start engaging your audience with your content and really being able to kind of see people that are coming across your content, but also interested in whatever service it is that you're, providing. Okay. So a couple of I think I have two more things that I want to hit on. So another thing that I want to talk about is your hashtags. So I see that you are utilizing hashtags for your posts. However, I see that you utilize the same hashtags for each post. So
Mm.
one thing that I want you to do is kind of like instead of posting like a big chunk of 30 hashtags at one time, just breaking it into like different groups of like 5 to 7. So originally back in the day, we had to, use all of our hashtags that we were allowed with Instagram posts. But now you really only have to add between 5 to 7. So if you could break up this hashtag group that you have into different groups by 5 to 7 and rotate them every other post or so, that will really kind of allow you to like refresh the algorithm. Because if you're posting content using the same hashtags every time, you kind of go into that risk of that bucket of being shadow banned, and they see it as like they're gonna flag you as it's spam because you're basically posting the same stuff every single time. So try to rotate your hashtags out every time you post between like, and just use 5 to 7 hashtags per post.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
And that's what I'm saying. There's things people don't know, but you would think, when you're in your industry, you're like, this is second nature. But a lot of people just don't know.
Yeah.
And the last thing that I really wanted to hit on was posting your client testimonials on your feed. I know that you have a highlight for your reviews and testimonials, but sometimes people don't actually like look at the highlights. So if you can kind of sprinkle in some testimonial videos onto your feed, whether that's you getting their original reaction whenever they see their hair, or even if they leave you like a text testimonials, you can screenshot it and put it on the back of a photo or on the back of a reel to showcase that person. That will do really really well for you. Now, I will let you know ahead of time that those pieces of content may not get a lot of likes, but it is definitely a piece of content that I would say needs to be on your page, because it could be that one piece of content that really encourages and pushes potential clients to book you. So don't worry about, if you don't get a lot of views and you don't get a lot of likes on those comments or on those pieces of content. Really just focus on putting content on your page that your potential customer needs to see in order for you to push them to book your services. And that's pretty much it. I feel like you made this super easy for me. Okay.
And
No,
love
you
that.
did a phenomenal job. Your work is amazing. I think the quality of your content is good. I feel like you use like a tripod or like a light or something?
Yeah, I use the newer ring light right now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. Like, it looks great. I wouldn't change anything with your content. I think you get great angles. I think you get great clips. I think your photos are clear. Thank God you clean your camera. I think you're killing it in I think you're killing it in that department. So yeah.
Thank you.
And another things that I did want to talk about was, I know that you also mentioned that you were, what was it? You were wanting your content to convert to sales. And that was one of the struggles that you were talking about originally. And so, what I wanted to ask you was, have you been utilizing email marketing in your business? Okay.
I need to.
She's shaking her head, everyone.
Yeah, I need to because I'm like, I've heard of MailChimp, but I think from what I've heard, it's super expensive.
hmm
So I kind of just want to know like what other options are out there. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of clients in my booking site that I probably did earlier on in, my journey of being a hairstylist that I'm like, okay, don't, hey, I'm here, come on, sis. Like,
Yes.
we got a
Yes.
new spot, we've elevated, we've, took it up a
Exactly.
notch.
Exactly. And this is a good thing for you, because since you've already, and it's easier for you, right? Because whenever someone books your services, you're already capturing their contact information. It's not like you have to like go out of your way to capture these things. You already have it. And so, to answer your question, I use Flowdesk, and I actually have a discount code where you can get 50% off of Flowdesk for the year. So I'll send that over to you. But I use Flowdesk for my email marketing. And what I was gonna say is that if you could start to upload all of your emails to Flowdesk and start at least sending a newsletter maybe once a week to kind of retarget the people that have already purchased with you, or even people that were interested and inquired about your services, you could definitely be able to kind of like wake up those old clients. Or even if you run like, promotions. I know you were talking about brows. Like, a lot of people listen, I just got my brows done
They look
a
good.
couple weeks ago. Thank you, girl. Thank you. But a lot, like you said, a lot of people don't know about it. And so I'm pretty sure if you sent out an email and was like, hey, I'm offering brow services, I'm offering hair and brow packages, a kind of 2-in-1 situation, I'm pretty sure you would definitely get some people to book. But it's all about getting in front of them. And sometimes when we rely solely on social media to get the message out, it doesn't get to all of our people. But the good thing about email marketing is that it does get to all of the people that are on our list, whether they booked with us 2 years ago, whether they booked with us 2 weeks ago. We know that whenever you send that email out, 100% of your audience is going to get that message, versus if you put it on social media and expect for them to see, it's only going to be a certain percentage of that. So I would definitely say, try email marketing, upload all of your emails, and just try sending out just send out one email. And then if you could, I know that you also, work a full-time job. If you can take a day out of the month where you kind of schedule out all of your emails for the month. So say if you only do one a week, then that's just 4 a month. Just find different ways to encourage them to interact with your emails, whether that's, you getting kind of creative with the subject lines or the content of the email. Maybe you're asking them a poll about, different services you should offer, things of that sort. I think you will really be able to kind of like get more people in the doors of your salon as well through email.
Awesome. I like that.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And then also, do you oftentimes do like giveaways or things of that sort?
Yeah, I have done some giveaways, some collabs.
Mhm.
I'm actually like doing the old school way too of like handing out cards, leaving them in places
Yes.
where my target audience shop and stuff like that.
And that's even good content too. Like, say if you're going to like Target and you're just putting your cards on people's, windshields, like that's good content too, because people always love to see when people are building something, and we can kind of like follow you along your journey of building your empire to having this, multi-million dollar luxury hair business. So
Right,
then people are like, oh, I remember when Kiana was putting business cards on people's windshield a couple weeks ago.
right.
So but it's like sometimes we feel like that's cheesy content and we don't want to share it. But that's most of the time the content that gets the most engagement and really captures people's attention. So anytime you're thinking in your head, like, oh, I could be recording this, most of the time you should record it.
You should.
So yes, but I think you're doing a phenomenal job. I think once you implement those tweaks and things, definitely with the email marketing, I can see you really, really doing a lot of good things within the next 3 to 6 months for sure.
Well, thank you so much. The feedback was honestly amazing. I will be applying these, especially the hashtag one,
Yeah.
the CTA. Definitely gonna do that. The marketing. Yeah. Thank you so much. This was great.
Sure, for
This was
sure.
great.
And before you go, can you let our listeners know where they can follow you, or they can follow your journey, they can check on you, see all the updates and hold you accountable? Where can they follow you on Instagram?
Are you live right now?
I am.
You are? Where on YouTube? Instagram?
It's not live, but we're recording, yeah.
Oh, period. All right, hey y'all. You can follow me on Instagram at Calidora X Beauty. That is CALLIDORA X Beauty with a Y at the end. TikTok. I do have a TikTok too. I kind of do personal and business because TikTok's a little bit more free. To do whatever. But that is I am Kiana KEIYANA. And yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, this was amazing. And you did an awesome, awesome job. And good luck to you and your business.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Side Hustler Podcast. I hope you're leaving here today feeling inspired and ready to take your next step. If you love this episode, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another side hustler who needs to hear it. And don't forget to connect with us on Instagram at Carly Dorlin. I'd love to hear about your side hustling journey. Remember, you're doing better than you think, and your dreams are so worth it. Until next time, keep hustling, sis. You got this.